for joining us here on Indivisible. I'm your host, John Stubbins, and happy Thanksgiving week, folks. We want to tip our cap to each and every one of you, your families out there, and to our armed services overseas, serving everywhere. Happy Thanksgiving to you. This is the show we put God, family, and country first, and we will always tell you the truth. You can look at the bottom screen here. We're scrolling our information about our Pledge of Allegiance coffee line. Make sure that you get at least one of our 3 blends today. I think you're going to love them. Our breakfast blend, our medium roast, or our dark roast. Make sure you try one of the 3. Folks, we have got an amazing show today. I know I say that every week, but it's Thanksgiving week. It's also Hate That Team Up North week. And if you're a college football fan, it doesn't get any better than what we're going to have today. We have a living legend on the show, and you're going to enjoy it. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Don't miss it.
Hunter Nation is the ultimate we the people in the conservation community, holding our elected employees accountable to the hunting, fishing, trapping, freedom lifestyle that has brought wildlife back to the healthiest and most thriving condition in our lifetime. HunterNation.org is the epicenter for freedom and wildlife conservation in America. I am Hunter Nation.
Griffin cutting up to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, still at his feet at the 24-yard line. There's a pitch to Griffin. And Griffin gets the first down at the 30, the 35, the 40, 45, 50.
Griffin coming up the middle, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! And they're mobbing Griffin. His electrifying style propelled the Buckeyes to unprecedented heights and engraved his name into the annals of college football immortality. The 18-year-old freshman opened with 5 yards off tackle. 5 more brought the Buckeyes a first down and an infectious new spirit. One carry followed another, and soon the yards were coming in bigger and bigger chunks.
I remember just yelling to Archie, run like you never run before. And the offensive line did a tremendous job. They opened up the holes, and I was able to find those gaps, ended up rushing for 239 yards that game.
Griffin's performance set a new Ohio State single-game rushing record and marked the dawn of a new era in Buckeye football.
And I knew at that point, immediately, that we were going to win a lot of football games at Ohio State because of leadership and character like Archie Griffin had.
Archie Griffin's record-setting debut immediately established him as one of college football's brightest young stars. But Griffin's exploits were as unexpected as they were exciting, even to Archie. Griffin went on to rush for 867 yards, a new freshman record. It was an unlikely success for a player many experts thought too small for starter. Woody's salesmanship paid immediate dividends. For the first time since the 50s, freshmen were eligible for varsity play. And with Griffin in the lineup, the 1972 Buckeyes won the Big Ten title, beat Michigan, played in the Rose Bowl, and finished third in UPI's final gridiron poll. The next year, Griffin led the 1973 Buckeyes to an unbeaten season, a crushing defeat of USC in the Rose Bowl, and a number 2 finish in the polls. His 1,577 yards represented a new Ohio State single-season rushing record and firmly established him as one of the nation's most exciting players. And for Archie, 1974 meant even more accolades. He reset his Ohio State rushing record, became the Big Ten's all-time leading rusher, and with his reception of college football's highest honor, the Heisman Trophy, Griffin was officially recognized as the nation's best player. For most, it would have been a lifetime's worth of dreams come true. But for Archie Griffin, the best was yet to come. By the end of the 1974 season, Archie Griffin was widely recognized as college football's most exciting player. But as he entered his senior season, an encore performance was anything but assured. Yet even with defenses zeroing in, Griffin continued to flourish.
He'd get those 130 yards.
In fact, his growing streak of 100-yard games were often the only source of drama during the Buckeyes' frequent blowout wins.
And they now know he has the 100, and listen to the Buckeye stands, Joe. They know he has the 100 now.
By the middle of his senior season, Archie's amazing consistency placed him atop the list of the game's greatest players.
And he Has it. He's inside the 15 to the 14. And now Archie Griffin is being carried off the field by the Ohio State Buckeye team. And the bench comes out to meet him. The leading ground-gainer in the history of college football, Archie Griffin. And the Buckeyes love it.
The 1975 season was a triumphant climax to Griffin's historic career. Before the Rose Bowl, Archie was awarded with his second Heisman Trophy, an unprecedented and still unmatched feat.
I really didn't know that they would give it to anybody twice. But deep down in my heart, I always looked at the Heisman as a team award. I mean, it was an award where I did well because of the offensive linemen and our offensive football team.
He made us all feel like we were part of that Heisman Trophy. And not only were we part of it once, but we were part of it 2 times.
When the Ohio State Athletic Department, in a surprise move, officially retired his famed number 45.
I guess that's one of my highlights of being at Ohio State, to have the number 45 retired formally. When I saw Andy Geiger walk out on the field with the framed jersey, then it really hit me, and that's when my emotions kind of took over. It was a very exciting moment for me, and I'll never forget that. That's certainly one of the highlights.
It was an unforgettable moment when Archie's family and friends, his colleagues and teammates, and the fans that adore him could simply say thank you.
He personifies what we want to see at Ohio State in terms of excellence, a standard of generosity, a standard of openness, a willingness to share, a selflessness, and fame, all wrapped into one human being in a rather unique and very, very special way.
He's just one of those guys that come along once in a lifetime. And, for people that don't know Archie Griffin, you're missing out. He's a great, great guy and a great human being.
He is held in such high regard and high esteem by everybody that he's ever come in contact with.
He's my brother, and I love him to death, not only as a football player, but as a brother.
I truly, truly have a great deal of love and admiration for him. He's a 10.
Boy, I tell you, nothing speaks louder than that. And I've got the 1974 Rose Bowl jersey to prove it. I want to give credit to Buckeye Classics for that amazing video. And nothing speaks louder than that. I want to invite onto the show now the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, and probably never will be another that can duplicate it, my friend, brother, Archie Griffin. How you doing?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
I am thrilled to have you with us. This is Michigan week.
Yes,
this is hate week, and it couldn't be a better time.
That's
after
exactly right.
Big win over Indiana on Saturday. I just got to tell you, and I've got some breaking news for you. I've got some wonderful news. I'm sure you remember Dr. Alan Bohl.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Dr. Alan Bohl's son, Brett Bohl, is a special correspondent for the Hula Bowl, and the Hula Bowl has asked me to invite you to the 2026 Hula Bowl, where you're going to be enshrined in the Hula Bowl Hall of Fame.
Wow, man, is that exciting? My goodness. It's that's truly an honor. And one of the things that I must mention, though, is I went to the Hula Bowl, but you might remember it, John, I had broken my arm in the Rose Bowl that year.
Yes,
and
sir.
So I really didn't get to play in the Hula Bowl, but I did go to the Hula Bowl and went through all the festivities at the Hula Bowl, and it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time.
Yeah, and a lot of people forget the Hula Bowl used to be in Hawaii.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Which was a nicer trip, right?
It was a very, very nice trip. Yes.
Folks, I got to tell you.
And let me just say, and one of the wonderful things about that is when we went out to the Hula Bowl, Buckeye alumni were everywhere, right there in Hawaii. And Cornelius Green, myself, Tim Fox, Brian Bashnagel, we all had a wonderful time with the Ohio State alumni right there. It just goes to show that the Buckeyes are everywhere, and they're there for the Buckeye players.
Absolutely. I had a good conversation with your brother Pete Johnson yesterday.
Okay.
Pete's he's on his way to Orlando right now, or excuse me, Daytona.
Daytona.
On
Okay.
his way to Daytona. He wanted me to say hello.
All right. He's probably taking his motor home, and he has a good time out in Florida. He does a wonderful job out there.
He was excited. He just he had his knees looked at by the doctor. He says he's excited to get down there.
Yeah, I think he had a replacement actually, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And folks, I just want to show you because the video, all the different things, they don't do really any justice. But this is Archie getting his statue in the Legacy Walk at the Rose Bowl on August 17th of this year, 2024. There he is in front of the statue. There's another shot of the statue with Archie's information on that billboard behind it. This here's a great shot. I had to include this. Archie ran it in for a touchdown.
That was a long run. I'll never forget that. I remember Coach Day said, we're going to put you in with 5 yards to go, but that was like 35. I was 69 years old then, and the 35 yards was a long way.
Hey, man, I feel you on that. This here is the unveiling of Archie's statue at the Shoe. So 2 statues this year, this summer. That's a great shot right there. Good wide shot. What was that like? Getting these statues.
It was unbelievable because I never expected that. I mean,
of course not.
It's been 50 years, and since I won the first Heisman Trophy, and believe me, you don't win a Heisman Trophy alone. I tell people all the time, and I hope people really, really believe me when I tell you, I was in the right place at the right time with the right people. I played with some great guys who made me look good enough to win 2 Heisman trophies. There's no question about that. So I give them full credit. We played well as a team. We did what we were supposed to do, and they did their job, and I just tried to do what I was supposed to do as well. And it worked out.
You did it well.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. But the feeling was unbelievable. Went out to California. The whole family went with me, all my brothers, my sister, and had a chance to really be together and have fun. And I'm so thankful to the Rose Bowl Legacy Foundation for doing that. I mean, that was absolutely terrific. I had a wonderful time. And again, Buckeye alumni, they were there supporting that effort, and it was absolutely terrific. And then 2 weeks later, came back here, and they dedicated the statue in front of Ohio Stadium here, which was truly, truly a terrific thing for me. Again, the family was there, and friends, and some of my Eastmore teammates, and some of my teammates from the Ohio State University, who certainly made it happen for me. And so I'm so very, very thankful and honored.
Well, look, you deserve it. And by the way, folks, I don't know if you follow the Ohio State University, and we have a lot of alumni all over the world, as Archie was just alluding to. But what's interesting is there's very few people in this world that get to dot the I with the Ohio State University marching band to middle.
That's right.
This man dots the I, along with amazing people like Coach Hayes, like Bob Hope. I mean, what an honor that must have been.
Oh, it really was. They caught me by surprise with that one as well. The band members came into the players gave me a letter, and I was reading it, and all of a sudden I got the feeling. I said, "Are they going to ask me to dot the I in this letter?" And they did, and I was kind of overwhelmed. I tried to keep it all under control, but it was kind of tough to do that. But that is a great honor. You mentioned the fact that Woody Hayes and Earl Bruce had the chance to dot the I. Certainly John Glenn, certainly Bob Hope.
Right.
And some really great people have dotted the I. And to be
it's a small group.
That group. Yeah, it's a small group, and to be in that group is really something very.
I think Urban Meyer calls that rare air.
Yeah, that's probably right, isn't it? And you know what? It was terrific, and be there with all the fans at that Akron game. It was outstanding. It was wonderful experience.
Well, folks, I just want to let you know the Archie Griffin Scholarship Fund. Go to www.archiegriffinScholarshipFund.org. I've got it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the great Archie Griffin.
Here's to the overlooked, the overworked, the underappreciated. Here's to the fighters to preserve our freedom, our liberty, our rights, our faith. Here's to the workers, the farmers, the first responders, and those who serve so bravely in our military. Here's to Americans who proudly hold tight to our values: God, privacy, freedom of speech, life and liberty. Here's to the patriots who love this country and everything it stands for, who should never be canceled for believing in America and the blessings of liberty. Finally, there's a bank for you, Old Glory Bank, named after the flag that represents the fabric of this great country and the people of Old Glory Nation, the engine of America. Now you have a bank that values your values. Now you have a bank that stands with you, no matter where you stand. Old Glory Bank. We stand with you.
Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
From Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines, both undefeated, meet for the Big Ten Championship and possibly the National Championship. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by great sponsors, but look at this action. The Michigan Wolverines coming out, as you just saw, the Ohio State Buckeyes hoping to tear up Michigan's Big M Club banner. That shows you how the teams feel about each other. Last year it was Ohio State that upset favorite Michigan. And here are the Wolverines, ranked number 4 in the nation, unbeaten in 10 games, going against the number 1 team in the company, Ohio State. And here now they run under their sign. There they are, centered around their coach, Bo Schembechler, and this is a team that doesn't believe. Now here is earlier Ohio State coming out a few moments ago, and watch what they try to do to the Michigan sign at the center of the field. You talk about Big Ten rivals. They're the oldest Big Ten rivals going. And what an afternoon to be in Anaheim.
If that doesn't get your blood boiling early in the morning, buddy, it's ready to go week.
That's exactly right. Oh my gosh, that video was something. I was 1973, and certainly John Hicks led the team out that afternoon and pulled down the Michigan banners. Oh my goodness!
I got my jersey ready.
All right. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, folks, if you don't know, Archie Griffin is so much more than a great football player. 4 Rose Bowl appearances, though, 4 Big Ten titles. You've got your wife Benita, 3 amazing kids, your brothers. By the way, how's Keith and Ray doing?
They're doing fine. They're doing fine. Yeah,
great football players too.
Oh yeah, a pretty doggone good one. Yeah, Keith happened to end up playing at Miami of Florida, but ended up on a national championship team, and that was great for him. And then had a chance to play with the Redskins with Washington, and had a Super Bowl championship. So he's doing fine. And Ray and I played together Not only at Ohio State, but also with the Cincinnati Bengals.
And boy, and Ray had some nice moments in that rivalry.
He sure did, especially that 1975 game where he got that interception.
Yes.
Really turned that game totally around. So
took it down inside the 10.
Yeah, that's right. Took it to the 3-yard line. And then when we get inside the 3-yard line, Big Pete Johnson's going to take it over for the touchdown, and that's exactly what he did. And that could turn that thing right back around. So, yeah.
Hey, you know, it reminds me a little bit in when Tress was here against Miami in the national championship game, when Mike Doss picked that pass off, took it down inside the 10. You get inside the 10 on that, we're scoring.
That's right. Absolutely.
What do you think about the game this week?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Michigan, that team up north, they've had a tough season actually. But this past week, they put 50 points on the board against Northwestern, so they're probably feeling pretty good actually, putting 50 points on the board because they hadn't really done that all year long. But John, this game is a different game, and it doesn't matter what the record is. They can have lose 5 games and come in here and they'll play their very, very best game. And that's just how it happens. They're going to be at their very, very best. And for us to be successful, we've got to be at our very, very best. We cannot overlook them, and we certainly will not overlook them. We hadn't won that game in 3 years, so it's time that we turn that thing around, and this is a good time to do that.
Well, every year, and I think my attorney and I came to visit you a few years back in your office at the Alumni Association where we were working on the script for Woody, and we're still working on it. As you know, doing a film on Coach Hayes is no easy business.
Right.
So we're still hammering at it. We're going to get it one of these years. Yep. We're gonna film it, but we've got to have everything right. But I got to tell you, Coach Hayes, after my dad working there for over 33 years and being there with Coach Hayes every step of the way, and being involved with this university since the day I was born, it's everything. Yep. And we've seen our ups, we've had our ups, we've had our downs, but this week we got to get busy.
We got to get busy. Yeah, it's as big as it's ever been. Their record might not be what it's been in the past, but believe me when I tell you, they will be at their very, very best. And again, we need to be at our best. And I think we will be. I think certainly Coach Dave's going to have the guys prepared. I got to tell you, I love the way our defense played this past week.
Wow.
Against Indiana. I mean, that was a team that was averaging like 40 points a game or so. And we held them to 15 points and probably could have held them to even less than that. But they did a wonderful job, and we need to have that kind of performance this upcoming week. And our offense, I've been proud of. Certainly Will played, in my opinion, one of his best games this past week, and we're going to need him to quarterback like that again this week. And I love watching that pair of running backs we've got. I love watching them run. I mean, I think they're terrific. And I love what our team and coaches have done with the problems that we've had on the offensive line with the injury problem. Those guys have come in and they've done a fabulous job, and they know that that's going to be something that they've got to do this particular weekend. They've got to be at their very best, and they will be.
Well, but between McLaughlin and Simmons, both of those guys were on track for All-American status.
Right, exactly.
I mean, and I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff to move those interchangeable parts. Hensman has played really well this week against Indiana.
Right.
I love what I'm seeing out of Jackson. Yeah. So we just got to keep it up.
Got to keep it up. Next man up, and our guys have done just that. Next man up. They have done good jobs, great jobs, actually.
We're very fortunate to have had Coach Hayes touch our lives in so many ways. And I spent so many Saturday afternoons as a child with Coach Hayes and by his side at media press conferences. I got to tell you, spending that much time with a man like that, you just watch and you encapsulate everything that he says, the way he moves, everything that he does, you know, and paying it forward. And the fact that you win with people, two things that you know very well. I mean, like you always give credit to others. And you were right. Coach Hayes, boy, I mean, he always recruited well.
Yep,
and
he did.
So you were surrounded by great teammates in all three phases of the game.
Yep, absolutely.
So it wasn't all on you, but I got to tell you, when you were put in that position to get the job done, you got it done. And I got to tell you this, I'm really excited about Will Howard. I really like what he's done coming over here. He's been fiery. He's a leader. He's smart. Reminds me a lot of Craig Krenzel, but he's got a little more oomph.
Yeah, well, he's done a great job. He really has. And again, like I said, this past weekend, I thought he was phenomenal. I mean, I think he missed 4 passes maybe for the whole game, which is just truly.
Well, and Jelani Thurman blew one of them, right?
That's right. But you know, and he's got to be that way this weekend. I mean, that's how you got to be. You got to play your best game, and I think he will, and I think our team as a whole will play their best game. I mean, they know about these past 3 games that we've had against that team up north. They know the sting that went along with that, and I just think they're going to perform. I really do, and they've got to perform because we want to get to the Big Ten championship game to get a chance to play against Oregon again. So in order to do that, we got to have a W this weekend.
Amen to that, brother. Go Bucks. That's
Bucks.
all I can say. OHIO.
That's right.
Let's go Bucks. Let's beat that team up north. We can't stand them. And as Coach Hayes would say, you just keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them until they can't take it anymore. And there's no question who will win.
I love that voice. Great job.
Stick around for just a minute, Arch. Indivisible with John Stubbins is proud to support my friends Jim and Angela Holland and Set Apart Farms.
Faith-led and family-driven, we're doing things a better way for veterans and their families. For all the ways to get involved, go to setapartfarms.org.
Great show tonight. Man, Archie Griffin. We were thrilled to have him, folks. Listen, again, happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. Hope that you'll break bread with your families and your friends and remember why we're giving thanks. Yeah, it's about, everybody loves turkey and sides and love my mom's broccoli casserole, sweet potato casserole, all the sides. All that's great. Football's great. We're going to enjoy that too. It all comes with it. But mainly remember why we're giving thanks. We're so lucky. We're so lucky to have all that we have in this country, and we're blessed. So just remember to thank the Lord. God bless you. God bless your families, and God bless America. We will see you next week.
Jim Beckler, and this is a team that doesn't believe. Now here is earlier. Ohio State coming out a few moments ago, and watch what they try to do to the Michigan sign at the center of the field. You talk about Big Ten rivals. They're the oldest Big Ten rivals going.